piggybacking off of abuse and getting our ass beat, I am going to go into childhood trauma part, whatever, and talk about how I was silenced over time. So there would be times where I would say something. I wouldn't even be conscious of what the hell was coming out of my mouth some of the times. And sometimes it was like an automatic response, like something that I felt was logical or whatever it was. And it would just come out of my mouth and I wouldn't really think about it. And then all of a sudden, like, one of the adults is telling me, one day you're gonna say some slick shit to somebody and they're gonna punch you in the mouth. And they were saying it like they were looking forward to it. Like they were looking forward to somebody hitting me because of something I said. And if I would ask, like, what was so bad about what I said or whatever the case was, they wouldn't say shit. They wouldn't say shit to me. And I was really fucking, that confused me as a kid because it's just like, I don't even remember what the fuck came out of my mouth. I don't remember what I just fucking said. It was just like, sometimes, like, I know from like how I was feeling at the time, I thought it was a logical response. And yeah, so that would happen. And then every time, you know, every time my cousin and my sister would get in trouble, I would also get in trouble. Even if I was in the room reading while they were jumping up and down on the bed like they weren't supposed to be, I would get my ass beat just as bad as they did. If not harder, because I was the older one and more used to it. I used to actually pretend to cry after a certain age because the shit stopped hurting and they would just find other ways to fucking hurt me. And so, I started being the quiet one, the one that did everything that everybody said because I got tired of getting my ass beat for shit I didn't even fucking do. And the last time, I remember vividly, the last time I actually got my ass beat by my aunt. I, like, she had her shoe in her hand. She had already spanked my cousin and my sister. And I grabbed onto her arm and literally begged her, with tears already streaming from my eyes, not to hit me because I wasn't doing anything wrong. And I was wailing. Now, if that isn't like the most heartbreaking thing to see, I think that was probably the time where she decided that she was no longer going to spank anybody, to be completely honest. Because, like, she used to beat our ass too. But I think that was the point where she just stopped entirely. Because, yeah, that she didn't hit me after that. Like, not once. And in fact, it was her house where I actually didn't have to do the dishes, but I didn't know what else to do with myself because I was actually put in the role of being a child again. And so I was really lost during that time. And like I kind of played with everybody, but I was afraid to. I was afraid to play with my own siblings and my cousin because of how often I would get my ass beat for when they were doing bad stuff and I wasn't doing shit. So, yeah, I mostly, for the most part, kept to myself after that. And, didn't say shit. Between all of that stuff, it was just too much. Like, constantly getting hit for nothing broke me as a kid. So then I became the good one because I did what everybody asked me to do and I never said no and I never, rebelled as far as they knew. And, I was the good one, the quiet one. No, I was the broken one. Everybody else still got to keep their sense of autonomy while also still getting in trouble. They kept their spirit. Mine was fucking broken. And that led to this whole golden child bullshit thing. And this is why my Nana would say, "Oh, you think you're the golden child?" Because I was the good one. I was not the fucking good one. I was the broken one. It broke me to constantly have my ass beat for everything. mouthing off, not doing what I was told, all of it. And yeah, it fucked me up real bad. And so, with that, the whole golden child thing is just my name was just like, oh, you think you're the golden child because you don't do anything, you don't get it. Because I got in an argument with her, and she was talking about how um, I don't know what the fuck the conversation was about, but we got on the topic of fucking college, and they really get pissed off when you use their own words against them. She's like, oh well, who's gonna pay for your college if you don't, do what we say or whatever? And I was like, I'll just do it my damn self, because you know. And she's like, oh, you can't possibly pay for college yourself. And I was just like, well, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And I use that against him. I use that against him because that's the fucking concept, right? If I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, that includes paying for college my damn self. That pissed her the fuck off. And the funny thing is at that point, I had decided to be atheist. But I still use their words against them. And that pissed them off. I stopped being afraid of fucking hell. I finally had gotten to the point where I wasn't afraid of the dark. I was still being chased in my dreams a little bit, but, I had mostly conquered that. But, yeah. Yep, it really pissed her off. And, yeah. That is, I'm sorry to say, because I know there are some good Christians out there, but it soothes my soul to trigger Christians. And you can call me the devil or whatever the hell you want, but it makes me feel fucking good. But I really do try to be respectful of other people's religions. I really do, and genuinely do. But when you try to force your beliefs on me after the bullshit that I went through, being beaten in the name of Jesus because, spare the rod, spoil the child. No, fuck that. And now I am empowered enough to say fuck that. So yeah, that fucking shit happened. So fucking. So yes, I am the real demon child because I did not follow their fucking belief system. Hold up. But, even after that, that was my little tiny bit of revenge. Things like that were the only way that I could get back anything that I had, because I was still in servitude. And that created a lot of debt between Christianity and my family and my existence being a burden. That created a lot of debt, and I'll go into that in the next video.